I was always interested in Ukraine, but I was little aware of this country. I knew only common facts from the books. I would say that the Japanese have little knowledge about Ukraine. But at the same time, Ukrainian ballet dancers or skaters are highly popular in Japan. Very often the Japanese give a standing ovation to them at competitions. But the Japanese are little aware of the lives of average Ukrainians. That's why I decided to tell about Ukraine through photos. So I decided to go to Ukraine and capture the true life of average people and share the experience with my countrymen. 2 years ago, the famous Japanese art photographer came to Ukraine for the first time. At that time, he visited 3 main tourist centers: Kyiv, Odesa, and Lviv. Kyiv is a big city with a rich and interesting history. There are beautiful streets with amazing architecture that local residents walk along.
道もそうですし、建物も素敵なものがいっぱいあって、その中で人が現れてきます。リビウはもちろんその、古い建物や
Lviv has a very special cultural atmosphere.
アートにあふれてる感じがして、すごくクリエイティブな刺激がある。
As for Odessa, there's the scent of the sea in the air, and the sky is so wide and southern. In addition, people are different there. They're emotional and at the same time positive. T.T. Tanaka was keen on photography from childhood, but his path towards a photographer's career was quite thorny and took him more than 20 years. My father was a good photographer, so he cultivated in me a love for photography. I remember how he allowed me to take his camera for the first time. It is his father to whom the famous photographer is grateful for the first lessons in photography. He never criticized his son's creations, but on the contrary steered him in the right direction and supported him. Of course, at that time I took awful photos, but my father always supported me and discussed the results of my work with me. Every time he found something to praise me for, whether it was the angle of the photo or the tempo of the picture. At that time, photographing seemed a distant dream for him. So, having finished a school in the city of Kobe, Teitei Tanaka entered the Tokyo University in the economic faculty. After a little while, he earned a master's degree in marketing in the US. In America, I learned that absolutely different people from different countries and with different characters can work on common projects. The ability to bring different types of people together in a common project was of great help for me in the future. Graphs and tables were the basis for the work of the Japanese marketer, and the acquired skills of photography art helped him in the development of presentations. 15 years ago, I was torn between my work and photography. At that time, I had a lot of photo awards, and my senior colleagues advised me to devote all of my life to photography. At that period, thanks to frequent business trips, Tanaka visited such countries as Myanmar, Vietnam, and Italy. And during each trip, he did not miss the opportunity to replenish his collection with pictures from life of these distant corners. Soon, his works became the winners of prestigious Japanese photo exhibitions. My first personal exhibition was held in one of local art galleries in Ginza district of Tokyo. Famous Japanese photographer Haruhi Yamaguchi gave me a lot of advice concerning my photographic skills and made encouraging comments. Photo works by Teitei Tanaka received a lot of highest awards from the Japan Professional Photographers Society, and a well-known professional Japanese publication called him one of the best photographers in Japan. The main feature of the author's creative work is pictures from life of the inhabitants from different corners of the world. Besides, Tanaka always tries to find a hidden meaning of things he has seen. I took this photo in one of the Ukrainian villages. I like the cat in this picture. His firm tread indicates that he's not afraid of people. It means that the local community is well disposed to animals and to one another. This cat is a symbol of good neighborliness between the local inhabitants. The next picture depicts the warm life atmosphere in Ukraine. A little kitty on the foreground and kids on the background. This photo is an allegory of local life in a calm and friendly atmosphere. In 2018, Tanaka took part in the Japan Day Jubilee Festival, which has been organized by the Embassy of Japan in Ukraine for 5 years in a row now. Previous events were held in Lviv, Odessa, Dnipro, Vinnytsia, and finally the event took place in the capital. Apart from exposition of traditional Japanese arts, the embassy presented photos by Tanaka for the judgment of Ukrainian exhibition visitors. Our exhibition was very successful. I watched the visitors' reaction. I saw how they stood in front of each photo and looked into the details for a long time. They came to me and asked how and where the photos were taken, and asked for my autograph. As an author, I was very pleased that different categories of people, young people, mothers with babies, and elderly couples were interested in my works. It was important for me to hear their comments and see their emotions. They can be good hints for new ideas. Attitudes of Ukrainians towards Japanese culture and traditions became a pleasant surprise for the photographer. I heard that Ukrainians loved Japanese culture, and it was pleasant for me to assure myself of this. The photographer gave an eloquent title to his exhibition. He called it The Meetings. In this project, he opened the peculiarities of the everyday life of Ukrainians for the Japanese. In fact, the word meeting has a lot of meanings. It can be an encounter and first acquaintance. I have already published 4 series of my photo books under this title. Each meeting, each book is an attempt to convey pleasant moments of staying in a certain country. I would like every person to have the opportunity to travel. I convey this wish also through my pictures. Besides, I want to advise people to visit not only tourist centers, but also little-known places. Sometimes you should put a tourist map aside and just walk along a street to discover the diversity of local life. Unique beauty is often hidden in these details. The photographer is sure it is enough to keep your mind off a smartphone, and you will see the magnificence of the surrounding world. First of all, I would like to convey my message to Japanese art workers as well as to people of art all over the world. They should go out in the streets and communicate with people. It seems to us that art is concentrated only in galleries or in our smartphones, but there is a big gap. You can also find art at schools and hospitals. It is very important to convey your message to people through photos. In such a way you can contact with the whole world. I make sure of it again and again. In search of everyday beauty, the photo artist strolled along the streets of Ukrainian cities and found out that the Japanese had much in common with the Ukrainians.
ありますね。
A common feature of both nations is modesty. This feature is very honored in my country.
思いますね。でそれは
When walking down the street, you almost never have eye contact with other people. This is typical for the Japanese as well. But despite it, the tread of Ukrainians is very firm and they're very noble. It reminded me of Kyoto.
それは写真にも
There are many girls in kimonos who carry themselves with dignity, but people wearing European clothing also carry themselves with dignity. It looks very beautiful and produces pleasant impressions.
歩き方も綺麗だったりして、それはすごく似てるかなというふうに思います。
Although Ukrainians are very modest, they open up in conversation. They smile and share their emotions. The Japanese are the same. At first glance, it seems that we're opposites, but we show our emotions while communicating. Of course, I will come to Ukraine again. The author supposed that his main art mission is to convey emotions to the corners of the planet to where people have no opportunity to travel.
このすぐ迫っている計画はパキスタンに行きます。来月
Next month, I'm going to visit Pakistan. There, I will hold a master class and a lecture for an alternative school.
主にイスラム系の、女子生徒10代が多いと思いますけれども、彼女たちに
Muslim girls who know little about the world around learn there. I want to show them more by showing my photos. I want to convey them emotions of the wonderful places that are still unknown to them.
エネルギーを与えたいと思っているので。
The art photographer also plans to hold an exhibition in Lviv in the Sheptytsky Center. The exhibition will surprise and excite the local audience.
デイリーライフの中にこそ
A special beauty is hidden even in everyday life. I think it is very important to remember this.
するかどうかで決まると思っている。
There are wonderful things in the world that are created by man and by nature. The main task of the photographer is to feel and convey the beauty of each person.
それを汲み取るかどうかっていうのは写真家の仕事だと思っています。